Anguished Guardian of the Ruins and Dark Eater Midir are two mechanically very similar bosses. Both of them share the same gimmick of staying in front of them and hitting the head in order to get any actual meaningful damage. A while ago I put out a poll with the two of them against each other, along with two other similar bosses, to see which one of them the community preferred more. And, well, as a surprise to no one, Midir won by quite a landslide. Me personally, at least moveset wise, I prefer Anguished Guardian quite a bit to Midir. My main problem with Midir's gameplay is that all you had to do to stay in front of him and punish his head was to just roll backwards for most of his moveset. On my first few playthroughs of DS3, I did used to think that Midir was one of the hardest bosses in the series. But as I refought him more and more, I eventually found out that most of his moveset just becomes a complete non-threat when you simply roll or even walk backwards for most of what he does. Guardian is just much more demanding and engaging as a fight to me, as most of his attacks require you to react to them all differently to each other. His basic trident moves you can simply just parry. His big arm swipe and slam moves you can either parry or dodge, as well as having the lasers and the giant spear attacks to make sure you're not just standing still and guarding the whole fight. I also think he has some of the most intuitive and fair red attacks in the entire game, and red attacks tend to be some of the weakest parts of Lazapi boss's movesets typically. And overall, my biggest reason for preferring Guardian gameplay-wise to Midir is just because I prefer Lazapi combat as a whole to that of DS3's, so that as well just gives Guardian a bigger edge for me. Oh, and Guardian also doesn't have an annoying double rampage time waster move in Phase 2. Midir is probably still better as a full package if you account for stuff like music, presentation, story, etc. But when it comes to the mechanics of the fight itself, he is heavily outclassed, at least in my opinion. What do you guys think?